Another delay. Am I ever going to get out of this airport? I had told Yanni not to book me through Denver. Who the heck agrees to land in Denver in January? I mean, it snows here all the time. They handle it well, but why take the risk? Of course, I knew the answer. A direct flight from San Francisco cost $90 more, and this flight was $17 cheaper than going through Dallas. So, of course, the calculators insisted she book me on this flight. Cheap bastards. I finished work a day early, hoping to get out before the storm, but now I have 3 more hours to kill while they clear the 8 inches of snow that just fell, one runway at a time. God, I hate this job. Actually, I don't. I love my job, but the travel has become a real pain in the ass. The same can be said for my wife, Cindy Miller. I think she travels more than I do these days. Contrary to the gloomy news and political lies, the economy is booming, at least at our employers. With our 2 schedules, I think we only spend about 2 weeks a month together at home. We make great money, but it's taking a toll on our marriage. I was looking forward to coming home because Cindy was supposed to be here today too. Now I'm stuck here, hoping the road crews win their war with today's blizzard. I take a deep breath. Okay, time to stop feeling sorry for myself. At least this airport has a couple of good bars. I can grab a bite to eat and a beer while I wait. I spot one and head there. I find a table off to one side and sit down. The waitress comes over quickly, and I order a Reuben and a draft IPA. When she steps away, I pull out my phone and text Cindy. Mike, hey babe, the weather seems bad here. Hope you don't have any problems. Fingers crossed. Cindy, our flight was delayed. We may have to book a room if the next flight gets canceled. Mike, heck, I hope not. I'm sure you want to get home. I miss you. Cindy, I miss you too. I'll text you later. Great. Now we can both be stuck in airports and not get home tonight. Well, at least Cindy is traveling with Shelley and Stephen Smith, so she's not alone. Shelley and Stephen are husband and wife, and they own her company. Shelley says they're traveling with her to open a new office in Seattle. Cindy had done all the recruitment prep work, and they were attending the grand opening. Cindy's been with the Smiths for 2 years and has made good progress. I really like Shelley. She's very smart and down to earth. Stephen, on the other hand, is handsome but an obnoxious chatterbox with a wandering eye. I disliked him as soon as I met him. Cindy says he's harmless, but I advise her to be wary of him. The waitress brings my sandwich, and it looks good. I'm just shaking out my napkin to put it on my lap when I hear laughter from across the room. What the hell? I lean to my right to peek around a column and see her profile. Wow. What are the odds that Cindy and I would end up in the same airport at the same time and pick the same restaurant for dinner? Holy crap, that's great. I stand up and start circling around the plant next to the column. Just as I do, my wife leans across her seat in the booth to kiss Stephen on the lips. I freeze. My brain shuts down. I can't comprehend what my eyes have just witnessed. I blink, trying to focus on what's happening in front of me. Cindy runs a gentle finger over Stephen's face as they pull apart. Then, Stephen reaches his left arm across the back of the low stall, pulls Cindy toward him for another kiss. I watch as she pulls closer to him. The kiss ends, and he whispers something in her ear that makes her laugh again. I step back to hide behind a pillar and sit back down at my table, stunned by what I've seen. I'm about to get up and rush over to them when the loudspeaker announces that the ground crews have cleared the runway and everyone should recheck their previously canceled flights. I check my phone. My flight is scheduled to leave in 50 minutes. Then, my phone vibrates with an incoming call from Cindy. Leaning against a pillar, I see her holding the phone to her ear, letting Stephen listen in on the call. Cindy, hey Mike, bad news. We're snowed in, and all flights are canceled. We decided to just get a room and spend the night. Mike, oh, that's terrible. Where are you guys? Cindy, in Denver. We got caught in a snowstorm, and the ground crews are overwhelmed. Hopefully, They'll have it all sorted by morning. I step back a little farther, walk around the pole and the plant. I can clearly see the smiles on their faces. It looks like Stephen had run his hand at least partially under her skirt. I decide to confront them. Mike, well, I think you'd better get a room before management throws you out on the street. Cindy, what? What are you talking about? Mike, if Stephen gets his hand under your skirt, you could be kicked out. Stephen, hisses what? Cindy, what? What show are you talking about? Mike, well, if Stephen's hand is under your skirt, you could be kicked out. Stephen, jerks his hand back, what the hell? Cindy, Michael, what the hell are you talking about? I walk over to their stall, grab a pitcher of water from the table, and pour it over both of them. Mike, here. Maybe this will cool you both down enough to avoid additional public appearances. Stephen hisses as the water soaks his shirt and pants. Cindy shrieks as the cold water runs down her partially unbuttoned blouse and soaks her skirt. Cindy, Michael, what are you doing here? Mike, what am I doing here? You mean, besides finding out that my wife is having an affair with her boss? Stephen finds his tongue. Stephen, Michael, it's not what it seems. I assure you. Mike, leave it alone, you bastard. I'm sure Shelley will be very interested in the video I made of you two. I see the sudden panic in Cindy's eyes. Cindy, no, Mike, please. It was a mistake. Please don't say anything to Shelley. It's just a misunderstanding. I laugh. Mike, yeah, I'm sure it was just a mistake. That bastard got his hand under your skirt, and you ran your tongue down his throat. And I'm supposed to believe that's a mistake? Give me a break. I turn to go back to my table and grab my bag. Cindy, where are you going? Come back. We need to talk. I turn around. Mike, it's too late to talk. I'm heading home, and your stuff will be waiting for you at my parents' house by the time you arrive tomorrow. I turn back to my table, hand a $50 bill to the stunned waitress who witnessed everything, and say, "Keep the change." I pick up my bag and rush down the lane to my gate. I can hear Cindy call my name, trying to catch up. When I get to the gate, she grabs my arm and turns me around. Cindy, Mike, you have to let me explain. It wasn't. Mike! Help! Guards! A stout security guard runs up to us. Guard, what's going on here? Cindy, this crazy woman is grabbing me and talking about something. Mike, oh my God, I think she peed her pants. Do something, officer. Cindy tries to speak, but the guard interrupts. Guard, you need to calm down, miss. Mike, just keep her away from me. I'm leaving now. As I run away, I hear Cindy yelling at him. The officer tells her she'll have to come with him. When I get home, Bill and Kathleen, Cindy's parents, are there waiting for me. Bill, Michael, what's going on? Cindy said you almost got her arrested over some stupid misunderstanding. I open the trunk and grab my bag, rolling it toward the door. Come inside. I'll explain everything, I said, directing them to the kitchen table. Please have a seat. I walked over to the liquor cabinet and poured myself some bourbon. I waved the bottle in front of Bill, but he shook his head. Carrying my drink back to the table, I sat down. This wasn't going to be easy. I genuinely liked Bill and Kathleen. They were good people who didn't deserve what I was about to tell them. Okay, son, tell us what happened, Bill said, his voice calm but curious. Mom, Dad, I'm sorry, but I'm divorcing Cindy. I began, the words tasting bitter on my tongue. She cheated on me with her boss, and I just can't live with it. Wait a minute, Bill interrupted. Cindy told us you saw her sitting with her boss at dinner, and you thought something was going on. I know he's a married man, so I'm sure you were mistaken. I looked at them, their faces full of trust and concern. I could see the disbelief in their eyes. They just couldn't imagine their daughter doing something like this. The thought of breaking their hearts tormented me, but I had no choice. I'm sorry, but I know what I saw. I said, my voice tight. Kathleen gently placed her hand on my forearm. Michael, honey, I'm sure what you think you saw must have upset you, but you know Cindy loves you. She would never do what you think. I hung my head, guilt washing over me. Why did she have to put me in this position with these wonderful people? I took a deep breath and looked Bill in the eye. I have the video. Bill furrowed his brow, his voice laced with confusion. A video? Yeah, I said. I recorded on my phone when I saw them together. I really don't want to show it to you, but it's all the proof I need. Bill glanced at Kathleen, then back at me. Michael, I think you'd better show us what you saw. I explained how I had recognized Cindy's laughter and had to lean against a pillar to get a better look. When I saw them kissing, I was stunned. I had to record it. Kathleen sighed and sat back in her chair. When my mind finally began to process what I had just witnessed, I pulled out my phone and started the video. This is what I saw. I placed the phone on the table where they could both see it and press play. A few seconds later, Kathleen gasped, "Oh my God." The video stopped. Bill didn't say anything right away. "Can I have a drink now?" Bill finally asked. "Me too," Kathleen added. We each took a drink in silence. After a long pause, Kathleen stood up and hugged me. "Michael, do you have any chance of getting over this? I know Cindy loves you, and you love her. Please, son, is there any hopes?" I hugged her back, fighting the tears that threatened to fall as she sobbed on my shoulder. "I'm sorry, Mom," I whispered. Bill and Kathleen embraced me, then left with a few bags of their things. I sat on the patio, my mind a whirlwind of thoughts. What I had seen, what the video showed. It would have been difficult to contest in a court of law, or even in marriage counseling if they had pursued that route. The video captured two people kissing, but not just a casual kiss. Cindy's boss had his hand under her skirt, but she could claim he was just touching her inner thigh, not anything more. That might even be true. You could also see that she had a couple of buttons undone to show off her cleavage, but I knew that wasn't the worst thing in the world. Nothing overtly scandalous, nothing that screamed infidelity. But I knew what I saw, the way they kissed, like lovers, the way they touched each other, intimate and comfortable. It was the kind of affection shared by a couple who had been together for a while, not two people just starting something. That wasn't a casual friendship. That wasn't a simple misunderstanding. Was I wrong to react the way I did? I didn't think so. Deep down, I knew what I saw, and her parents knew it too. That was the end of my marriage. Epilogue. 3 days later, I sent Cindy off for service. I gave the video to Shelley, and she had Stephen go to counseling and sign a brutal prenup that would leave him with nothing if he ever cheated again. Cindy continued to deny her infidelity, but eventually, Stephen revealed the truth in counseling, with Shelley present. I guess I should have felt vindicated, knowing my instincts had been right. The day I happened to be in the same airport at the same time as Cindy and Stephen was a strange twist of fate. It was like the universe wanted me to see her for who she really was, not the perfect wife I thought she was. They say love is blind, but I was glad my vision was clear that day in Denver.